This past year, the people of the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir have suffered most grievously. On August the 5th last year, 900,000 Indian occupation forces invaded Kashmir and reoccupied it. Ever since, they have been brutalizing the people and colonizing the territory. They have killed hundreds of young men, incarcerated thousands of boys and children, and forcibly disappeared Kashmiris. All freedom leaders are under illegal detention. Concentration camps have been set up in the occupied territory in order to force political activists to discard their quest for liberty. The occupied territory's economy has been ruined. Late last year, illicitly, India bifurcated the disputed territory into two parts and declared that they would be ruled by Delhi without the consent of the people. In another sinister move this year, India has launched massive import and transfer of Hindus from India to settle them in the occupied territory in order to change the demographic composition of the state. This is a flagrant violation of the 4th Geneva Convention and international law. The scale at which these atrocities are being committed have been rightly termed as genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. Kashmiris are being exterminated. They are being made aliens in their own land, homeless in their own homeland. The full-fledged aggression against Kashmiris is driven by the new fascist Hindutva doctrine and settler colonialism. We see replication of Nazi policies in the occupied territory. Indian rulers and armed forces, through their warmongering, ceasefire violations, and threats to attack Azad Kashmir and disintegrate Pakistan, are pushing the region to the brink of war. In fact, they have declared multiple wars against all their neighbors and even against their own population. We are grateful to the international media, world parliaments, international civil society, and human rights organizations for calling out India's revolting and despicable crimes against humanity and for speaking up for the oppressed and besieged people of Jammu and Kashmir. But with the exception of China, Turkey, Malaysia, Iran, and some West European countries, the response of the most powerful nations has been disappointing and faltering. They have not fulfilled their obligations to save Kashmiris and to stop our drift towards turbulence in the region. We thank the Organization of Islamic Cooperation for its strong solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the periodic statements issued by the United Nations leadership. But this is not enough. We demand action. We salute unarmed but valiant Kashmiris for their resilience in the face of India's scorched earth policy and their resolve to resist Indian colonialism and foreign occupation. We are with you until, together, we repulse the Indian invasion and wrestle down the monster of Hindutva, which is feeding on Kashmiri lives and rights. In this struggle, we appeal to the international community, especially the United Nations, to step forward and help us liberate the people of the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Otherwise, it would be too late. An entire people will be disenfranchised, dispossessed, displaced, and destroyed altogether. For their part, Kashmiris have vowed that they would win freedom and self-determination as promised to them by the United Nations under any circumstances. The flame of liberty will not be snuffed out by Indian imperialism.